Welcome, and thank you for joining our latest podcast. I'm Anna Ibbotson, and I lead the Chemicals and Materials research business at Kline. Kline has been a trusted partner in the chemicals and materials industry for 66 years, offering market intelligence and advisory services. We cover a range of chemical sectors, including care chemicals, polymers, industrial materials, life sciences, along with providing sustainable solutions. I'm joined today by Laura Mahecha. Laura is Director of Kline's Agrochemicals practice and has global responsibility for Kline's syndicated titles. Laura has 30 years of extensive market research experience, mainly on B2B markets, such as crop protection, biologicals, agrochemicals, and pest control products. She's also responsible for managing Kline's flagship titles in these areas, as well as developing new products. We are here today to discuss the latest study, Leading Distributors in the US Crop Protection Market. This is a strategic assessment designed to provide clients with an early indication of crop protection industry performance. It analyzes the leading national and regional distributors, larger cooperatives and buying groups, which total 88% of crop protection manufacturer net sales. So let's begin, Laura. From your team's research, please tell us some of the characteristics that define the US crop protection market.
Sure. Thank you, Anna, for that lovely introduction. From what we've heard from our respondents, the market has shown early recovery, not broad-based expansion, but most respondents point to flat to modest growth, about 2 to 3% for last year. And we've seen some post-destocking normalization of the market, better product availability, and selective treatments. But the key theme that really resonates with most of the respondents that we spoke with is that profitability dominates agronomy. Growers are very price conscious and they are concerned with protecting yield. And most decisions that they make in terms of the crop inputs that they're buying are made through a cost per acre lens. And they are concerned with protecting yields while deferring or skipping applications that are seen as less essential.
Thanks, Laura. That's really interesting. So why are growers still spending on some crop protection products, even when the commodity prices remain weak? And which categories are actually proving to be most resilient?
So the grower focus on yield protection and high value seed investments. And several of the distributor respondents we spoke with indicate that crop protection is seen almost as insurance on those seed investments. So seed treatment is seen as a very cost-effective category and is a standout growth area. Herbicides are considered the most non-discretionary category because weed control is foundational and growers are least willing to compromise there. Biologicals are also gaining traction where growers have seen value, but fungicides are definitely more nuanced. Some see them as a crucial plant health tool. Others are saying that that's the first place that they cut when their margins are being squeezed. So fungicides essentially sit at the crux of the market dynamics today, where they offer agronomic benefit, but they're also seen as discretionary when there's a stressed financial season.
Once again, a really interesting response, and it's interesting to see how things are developing. So in terms of the role of the distributor in the crop protection supply chain, how is it now evolving?
So the role of the distributor is shifting from a vendor to more of a problem-solving partner for growers. And the channel is definitely moving away from simply product selling towards crop program design, agronomic advice, and value-added services. And those distributors that are able to help growers build a workable crop plan within a budget are much better positioned than those that are competing only on price. Some of the larger distributors like Nutrien and Winfield United have advantages in terms of scale, financing capabilities, and service infrastructure, but certainly the regional and independent distributors can still compete through local relationships and tailored agronomic advice. And lastly, after the pandemic, we're seeing inventory is more seen as a risk than a strength for distributors. The industry has shifted towards a lean, demand-driven model, and this reduces working capital exposure, but it also, if demand spikes, it introduces risk in terms of service, making forecasting crucial, and also coordination with chemical suppliers among the distributors.
It's interesting. So I guess these economic pressures you've just outlined have impacted the distributor margins. How do you see that evolving?
Yes, that's one of the key deliverables in our report. So margins are broadly described as flat to down among the distributors. Estimates are clustering in the high teens, with some being more pessimistic and trending lower. There is intense price competition among distributors, as well as grower price sensitivity. So we are seeing a lot of generic substitution and limited ability to pass through higher costs to buyers from distributors. Our interview strongly suggests that the shift towards generics is not just a cyclical response to weak incomes, but more of a structural change for the industry. And growers are more ingredient literate, so they are more willing to buy based on active ingredient rather than brand. And also growers through their cooperatives are becoming larger and more powerful. So they have more price negotiation leverage which intensifies distributor competition.
Thanks, Laura. So far we've discussed the industry characteristics, the structure, the economics and margins. So I think for my final question, it'll be interesting to hear how you expect the industry to evolve in the next sort of 4 to 5 years.
Sure. What we've heard is that biologicals are becoming a real strategic growth platform for distributors. And most of the distributors that we spoke with agree that biologicals are moving from hype to a credible complementary category for the industry. Also interesting to note that biologicals are increasingly used as an additive product to traditional crop protection inputs for plant health, fertilizer efficiency, resistance management, and early season vigor. In terms of new technologies, we have heard from several distributors that drone applications are becoming more common, particularly for fungicides and late season applications. And drones are really being seen as a commercial disruptor and something that we think in the near term will continue to evolve. And we'll see more applications being made with drones. Most respondents also believe that the market is near the bottom of the cycle and that it should recover if commodity prices improve over time. And there are several major trends that are expected to continue, such as acreage contraction. We think that we will see the industry continue to rely on generics. There will continue to be pressure on distributor margins, and there'll be shifting channel economics. But essentially, we expect the market to recover in a structurally changed environment.
Thank you, Laura, once again for sharing the insight from the leading distributors in the US crop protection study. If you have any questions or would like to learn anything further about this strategic report, which can help support and inform your business, then please do contact us using either the QR code or Laura's information shared on the slide. We thank you once again for joining the podcast, and we look forward to having you join future events through the Agrochemicals program at Kline.